That's the singing Tico, the singing parrot in "Oh What a Beautiful Morning." If you couldn't tell,
I hadn't picked up on it yet. No. Hey, I want to give a couple of more shout-outs.
Let's do it. Yes,
fireworks.
Absolutely.
Devon Energy.
Okay.
And HF Sinclair and ConocoPhillips.
Okay.
We're also big-time supporters. They support all of our chamber events. So
yeah.
We like to give them a special shout-out as well.
So, well, I was talking to Mike Rohrbacher, who did the fireworks for Artesia, and he had been in previous week, I think, at Elephant Butte.
Yeah.
And had done the fireworks show down there before he came up to...
Yeah. I told him I really want to go sit on the water at Elephant Butte and watch that. I've done it once in my life. I was really young. But, man, it was just so cool to watch it because it reflects over the water. So it's almost like you get to see two shows or something. I don't know. It's just different. It's neat when it's over the water.
Well, and it's, there's a lot of really crappy stuff in the news that happened over the weekend at some different places. And it's just so nice. I mean, I'm not saying that it couldn't happen here, but you just don't imagine anything like that happening here. And so it's great to be able to have parades and cornhole tournaments and volleyball tournaments and all the other 4th of July celebrations. And the same thing up in Roswell. We did the Thursday night national show in that little park just to the north of the UFO Museum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we set up there.
Wow.
So we're in the park. We got our tables. Clyde and his guests are sitting in one, and me and Tanner are sitting in the other, and we're walking around doing all kinds of video. And
that's cool.
And I had one or two people say, "Are you sure? Are you worried about anything?" And I said, "Are you packing?" "Yeah." I said, "I'm not worried." There's one of us that was ready.
Yeah.
But we just didn't even think about that kind of stuff. And so that's one of the nice things that's about living here. And again, I'm not going to say that it could never happen.
Sure.
But I think it's a lot less likely. I read some articles that people don't feel very proud of their country right now. City of Orlando, Florida put out some kind of lame, we know how terrible everything is, but we're going to do fireworks anyway.
Whoa.
Type thing, and then they later had to walk that back. And, I'm sitting there and I'm watching the fireworks last night and I'm listening to the music and I'm thinking, what a great country this is if people would just appreciate what we have in the country.
I know. It was neat. Like, even just driving around town yesterday, so many American flags everywhere. I mean, houses, businesses, they were up and down Main Street like normal. And, man, it was just really neat to see the patriotism.
Yeah.
Patriotism?
Patriotism, yes. And then listening to the reading of the Declaration of Independence, which there's a lot in there about how horrible King George was.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
We're breaking away, and here's why.
Yes.
And so a lot of it is things that people don't remember. I mean, we all remember the beginning of it. But listening to what happened to the 56 men who signed the Declaration of Independence, how many of them were tortured or captured or chased around, and they lost everything, and they, died destitute, after signing that. Because again, people's perspective of history is out of whack now. They sign the Declaration of Independence, they send it over to King George. George sends the British Army, which enhances the British Army that was already here, to seek out these traitors to kill them because they were treasonous. They were performing treasonous acts against the king. And we don't often think about the sacrifices that were made by these people to form this country and start this country. And that's why I get so angry when people talk about, this country was founded because of, they didn't do this and they were evil and they all this other kind of stuff. I get mad when people start talking like that. They really don't understand what those folks gave up
and had to go through.
And it's like Paul Harvey said in the recording. He says, these were not poor people. These were all people of means. They had wealth. They had stature. They had for the time. They had luxurious lives that they were living, and they gave all that up in order to get this country started. So anyway, I didn't mean to get so philosophical in that, but you hear all the other stuff that's going on around, and you go, just what is it with people? What is going on? What are we not teaching them, or what are they not learning, or what are they being taught, or what are they hearing that has got them so
backwards,
messed up in their in the brain on that? You feel bad. So well, now that the 4th is done, what is next for the Chamber of Commerce?
Naps. No, I'm just kidding.
A break.
Yes. No, basically we're going straight into the fair.
Okay.
Helping out advertising with that for them. The girl talking this morning, I desperately wanted to ask her a question about this chili cook-off.
Yes.
Do we know if it has to be cooked out there?
Yes. Oh.
Or can you start it at home?
I didn't think of that, and I didn't ask her that. I have her phone number.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not supposed to give it out on the air.
Okay.
But I'd be more than happy to share that with you after we're off air, and you can ask.
Yeah.
Because I got the impression that you set up your area, and you bring all of the stuff, and then you
make it there.
Okay. So you prepare your meat, and you boil your tomatoes or whatever it is that you do, but you make it out there.
Well, because if I were to enter, my chili takes 6 hours.
Oh my goodness.
In the crock pot.
Okay.
So that's why I wondered, if you're setting up at 8:30, mine would be ready?
Yeah.
By 11:30.
Well, that's a good question.
So I don't know.
Well,
but we can ask and find out.
I know somebody you can ask on that. So you thinking about putting a team in?
Well, yes. 3 gallons is a lot. I think I would need extra crock pots. But.
So beans or no beans?
Mine has kidney beans. It has dark and light kidney beans in my chili.
Okay.
It's so good.
All right. Is this like a long-lost family recipe, or is this something you've developed over time?
It is my recipe. Well, okay. I found the recipe on Pinterest.
Okay.
But I have...
modified it.
Yes, modified, and have been making it for probably 20 years now.
Okay.
And it's a favorite. It's very spicy, though.
Okay. You say it's a favorite.
Of lots of my family and friends.
So nobody has the courage to tell you otherwise?
Nobody has the courage. That'd be fun to make it to the fair, though.
That would be neat if you could do that. I want to do all
kinds of entries in the fair. I want to make cake. I want to do the chili contest.
Have you been growing a sunflower?
No, I didn't get any large sunflower seeds.
Okay.
Seedlings.
So you're not doing that.
No, but it's cool.
Yeah. Well, that's another one of the things that you've talked about before.
Yeah.
That,
big old giant sunflower contest. So we're helping with the get the fair advertising out there. Aaron Watson, that's exciting. Friday night, and then right after that, we're already kicking off our Clay's Crusher event. So we're helping out with the ConocoPhillips is doing a shoot this year, and then 2 weeks later we're doing our shoot. So we've got 2 of those kind of coming up and whatever. So yeah.
Well, it sounds exciting.
It's big time, and we've already even sent out save the dates for Balloons and Tunes. Can you believe that?
Already?
These pilots, they want their schedule. They want to know where they're going to be and what weekend. So
if you can take a picture of that.
Okay.
And I bet Sarah can answer your chili question.
Yes.
On all that. I got the impression that you set up and you make the chili there, but I'm wondering how much prep work you can actually do. Like, can you
chop
like
your
you said,
onion?
can you get it started, or do you have to do all of does it have to be made there on site? But Sarah can answer that question for you. And then let me know what you find out. That way, if anybody else has that question, we can...
Sounds like a plan.
We can answer that question for them.
Cool.
Well, I know it's because we're like, okay, what do we do now? And we've got the Eddy County Fair, because we're going to be doing the video stuff out there. And there's some things that I still have to get that I haven't replaced after the trailer got stripped.
Yep.
like a big long power cable.
Yep.
If I brought the trailer out there right now, I'd park it and I go, okay, where's the power?
Where do I plug in?
Well, I know where to plug in, but I don't have any.
I can't get to it.
Can't get to it, so I've got to get that ordered, and then we've got another trailer that we're gonna convert to a video trailer, get an air conditioner put on it, and all that kind of stuff. So
that'll be really nice.
A few projects we've got to get done here over the next few weeks, and then as soon as we're done with that, the first football game is the 19th of August.
Wow.
And they've been working on...
That's my sister's birthday.
Okay. Well, they're having a football game in her honor.
It's a Friday.
They're playing Carlsbad.
Oh, yeah. There's always...
Yep. Playing the caveman here. But they're working on getting the turf all done at the bowl, and you've probably seen the lights on in the mornings.
Yes. They want to get out there early.
Yeah.
I live about a block from there, and yes, the lights are
There's two different crews that are doing two different things. Like one crew's pouring the material on the berms, and then the other crew's coming in and doing the turf, and so they're sharing time in the bowl, and it's just so we could turn around. We got to get ready for all of this stuff.
I know. It's crazy. Well, and what I think is neat about the Eddy County, another person's calling me. Don't they know I'm on the radio? Just kidding. What I think is neat, there's so much prep work that goes into the Eddy County Fair. And one thing that is so neat is their fair board consists of all volunteers. And so these people are pouring so much time and their own money into getting this place ready and updating it for this or updating it for that, or, the schedule. I mean, all of this gets put out so early in the year by so many people that are just volunteering. And I think that's so cool because the kiddos are, get to take it and do college with it and, continue with it and learn so much from it. And I just think it's really neat that so many people are involved in helping these kiddos succeed in their all the different animals and what they learn from them, and adding the horses now, and I think it's so cool. It's so neat.
It is, and they've added some nice features to the fair the last couple of years, and I think, people are real sticklers for tradition.
Yes.
You never want to change anything for anybody ever at any time.
This is how we've always done it.
We've always done it this way. I worked for a guy, Hank was his name, my first boss in radio. And Hank, Mr. Dillman, of course.
Yes.
Is there any reason why we can't do this as opposed to doing it this way? And his response was always, I can hear it in my mind right now. Well, we've always done it this way. And so, so you never want to mess with tradition if you can avoid it. I remember when I moved to here, and before we started, I had all these people telling me, you need to do this, you need to do that, and so we come in and we mix things up and we put the talk radio on the air, and I was told that I ruined the best radio station in all of New Mexico.
Really?
After hearing for 2 or 3 weeks of how horrible the radio station was, and you need to fix the radio station.
And now it's ruined.
When they redid the striping on J.J. Clark and Mahone. With the one-ways and the bike paths and where you park and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How many complaints did you hear about that?
And so, only complaints when people were going slow.
Well, yes, and you're supposed to go slow.
Pass. Well, I mean, yes, the speed limit's 25, but I go to work that way and go home that way, and oh my Lantis, sometimes you get behind. Seriously, 20 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour. I'm like, it's 25. At least go 25. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, I understand. I totally get that.
Yeah.
But now that you've driven on it for a while, it totally makes sense how they've got everything aligned,
yes,
right?
And honestly, I really like it because, especially for Balloons and Tunes or even for the parade yesterday, there's parking.
Yeah.
And so...
So it makes sense. So when the fair was last year or the year before, when they said we're going to move it to Tuesday, Saturday, night.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And instead of the starting Monday night through Saturday morning, and instead of having the sale Saturday morning, we're going to have the sale on Saturday night. Mm-hmm. And I'm a more, let's try it. But you know how some folks can be, but I think that's worked out for the best. I've not really heard a lot of people that have said, I wish they'd go back to the old way of doing that. Yeah. I'm sure there's some out there that would prefer it be the other way, but I think for the most part,
I think it's been awesome.
It's
and now there's something Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night.
Yeah. So I think it's worked out. But don't mess with people's traditions. Oh my gosh, you'll get.
Yeah. I get it.
We've always done it this way. Why?
Because
we've always done it this way.
Yes. Don't ask why. I learned that.
That's not an answer.
Yes.
There may be a perfectly legitimate reason for doing it that way.
Yes.
Tell me that.
And then we can continue.
And then we can have the discussion, but
or
don't
modify.
Exactly. But don't just say we've always done it that way.
Yes.
And you're right. Don't say why.
Don't ask why. I did get I actually had someone in the chamber when I said that. Well, why?
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me why. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't ask why. Don't ask why.
Well, I when I first joined the board of the Broadcasters Association many, many, many years ago, and I'm at my first board meeting.
Yeah.
And a topic came up, and I was just genuinely curious. I had no agenda. I was not, I'm on here, we're going to change things. I just, and something came up that they were taking a vote on, and I raised my hand. Why do we do this?
Why?
And the stares and the looks that I got back, who is this guy? Who let him on the board? Why is he here,
Yeah.
But what was funny is after I raised the question on whatever that was that they were talking about.
Uh-huh. It changed.
It changed. And it's like, and I did have one person tell me, don't tell anyone, but I've been thinking about asking that question for 3 years,
Right? I mean.
I said, I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm just curious. Why do we do that?
Yep. That's exactly what my question was, because it was something new that we were working on. Mm-hmm. And I was really wondering, taking whatever it was, okay, why do we do it this way? Or can you give me the information? So we can learn about how to do it and how to, whatever. And same thing. Same thing.
We've always done it that way.
It's how it's done.
It's
easier. That's another one. You're like, well, is it?
Is it? Yeah. and it's not that we're going out of our way to stir up and change everything.
We're just
wondering is why do we do it this way? And there, like I said, there may be a totally
legit reason.
Legit, understandable, makes total sense reason why it's done this particular way. But I'd like to know what that is.
Yeah. That's funny.
But I get in trouble sometimes for asking questions. Yeah. So I just kind of lay low and sit in the back and
laugh when it's not done. Yeah. So what's your favorite thing about the Eddy County Fair, or tradition, or show, or
when it's over? No.
You go home and cool off.
One thing that's really been fun to watch over the years has been how involved everybody gets with, like, the pig show mm-hmm. and the goat shows, mm-hmm. and how intense those can be for some of the people that are competing. That that's serious stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not a pig person, so I don't know. I mean, to me, mm-hmm. all pigs look alike.
Same.
And it's amazing what the judge sees and how they describe, what is good about this one and what needs to be worked on that one. And they're all very encouraging with the kids, but that's a pretty intense
it is
competition.
It is. And one thing I noticed, especially watching, in the recent years with, Haley's son, Kalen, showing mm-hmm. stuff, animals, and just seeing, like, they do this little tap thing on their back. Mm-hmm. And I always wondered, like, what is that about, or whatever, and little things like that that's really cool. But yes, these kids get into it. And you always feel real bad for the littler ones that are trying so hard, and their goat or sheep takes off, and they're getting dragged around the arena.
Yeah.
And it's comical, but it's also like, dang, they are probably so mad right now and so sad.
Yeah. But I do like the shows, and we'll be there as always. So, Jessica,
Cool.
we're out of time.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time when we work on whatever's next.
Yes, next week.
You got